One sec, guys. I got like a hair thing. What about now? Think that's okay. What do you think? You know, this wouldn't happen if you just wore a hat. Start the thing. Here's something you almost never hear a hockey fan say at the end of the season without lying. You know, that season went exactly as I expected it to. Okay, buddy. But it's true. It's almost impossible to predict what's going to happen over the course of a season. If it were, I wouldn't fail miserably at every hockey pool I've ever joined in my life. But as the preseason moves forward, you already see some of these stories transpiring. Some players doing much better than expected, and others way the opposite. There's some guys getting cut, some guys stealing spots in the lineup. And you can never fully predict what's going to happen, but that's what the preseason's for. It helps you prepare. For coaches and GMs, it's almost like that final check you do in your pockets before you leave the house. All right, you got my goalies, got my defensemen, got my top six Where's my top six forward? Has anyone seen my top six forward? Could have swore I just had it. And you panic a little because you're missing that key. But maybe a rookie surprises out of camp and fills that spot. It's almost like, oh, I was holding my top six forward the whole time. I thought I left it on the counter. And I'm bringing this up because I was reminiscing about last year, as one often does in September. And I got to thinking of just how many stories came out of nowhere. So let's take a walk down memory lane. Just think of some of the teams you expected to make the playoffs. And not so much. Now think of some of the teams you expected to tank and they ended up doing amazing. Here's an example. Who the heck thought the 7th and 8th seed would meet in the Eastern Final? Put your hand down. Who would have thought PK Subban would play 7 times as many playoff games as he did regular season games? And who would have thought that a sophomore that was a healthy scratch for parts of his rookie season would tie for the most goals in the league with 51? That sophomore, well, not a sophomore anymore, was Steven Stamkos. And by the way, a season-to-season improvement like Stamkos's doesn't happen overnight, clearly. You gotta train. And something that gets a lot of mention is Stamkos's training with Gary Roberts. Well, if you go to NikeTraining.ca, they actually have a bunch of videos of Stamkos and some other players that you might recognize training with Gary Roberts. And it looks insane. Alright, I'm gonna tie this thing to you now. Run that way really fast. If you want to see it, it's all there. Check it out. But what I'm trying to ask is, what are those surprise stories going to be this season? What do you guys think they're going to be? Please tell me. Text response, video response, carrier pigeon for all I care. But here's a potential surprise for me, and I want to know what you think of it, or rather him. Jeff Skinner. Now you want to talk about the unexpected. All 5'10" of Jeff Skinner scored 50 goals in junior last year. He was expected to go mid to late first round in the draft, ended up going 7th overall to Carolina. And he's been doing really well so far, and it looks like he's going to start the season in the show. So he's already surprised the scouts, but is he going to surprise the pros? I actually got to talk to Jeff Skinner at Canada's World Junior Orientation Camp in Newfoundland. Look for that video very soon. And until then, if you want to tell me what surprises you think are going to happen this season, this is a good place to tell me.